Agency extends trusted drone exemptions while seeking comment on broader commercial restrictions for certain foreign made systems. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, is taking another step in its effort to reshape the U.S. drone market. The agency announced Tuesday that it is seeking public comment on whether to prohibit the import, marketing, or sale of certain categories of foreign produced military grade drones that appear on the FCC's covered list. At the same time, the FCC extended key exemptions for trusted drone manufacturers, giving companies pursuing U.S. based production greater certainty as they invest in domestic manufacturing. Taken together, the actions signal that the FCC's strategy is evolving. Rather than focusing solely on restricting foreign produced drones, the agency is also establishing longer term regulatory pathways for manufacturers that meet U.S. security and supply chain standards. A shift beyond equipment authorization, the proposal marks a potential expansion of the FCC's role in drone regulation. Last December, following an executive branch national security determination that certain foreign produced uncrewed aircraft systems, UAS, and critical components pose unacceptable national security risks, the FCC added those products to its covered list. That action effectively prevented new models of covered drones from receiving FCC equipment authorization, blocking their entry into the U.S. market. The new public notice asks whether the Commission should go further by prohibiting the importation, marketing, or sale of certain categories of covered foreign produced military grade drones for non federal users. The proposal would not affect drones already owned by customers. It also would not apply to products purchased for federal government use or commercial testing and product development. The FCC is also seeking comment on whether the prohibition should apply to categories of drones viewed by the U.S. government as presenting heightened national security concerns, including swarming drones, systems designed to integrate defense articles, thermal imaging drones, LIDAR equipped drones, aerosol dispensing drones, drone docking stations, and drones weighing 55 pounds or more. Comments will be due 30 days after publication of the notice in the Federal Register. Greater certainty for trusted manufacturers. While the proposed restrictions drew the most attention, the FCC also announced changes that provide greater stability for manufacturers pursuing trusted supply chains. Following a determination by the Department of War, DoW, the FCC extended until January 1st, 2028. The exemptions for UAS and components included on the DoW Blue UAS list. Systems meeting the Buy America threshold of at least 65% U.S. component value. In addition, the Commission permanently removed the expiration date for drones and components that have received DoW conditional approval, ensuring those products will not face future restrictions based solely on an arbitrary deadline. The changes replace a previous January 1st, 2027 expiration date for these exemptions. For manufacturers investing in domestic production or pursuing Blue UAS or conditional approval status, the extension provides additional certainty for long-term manufacturing and investment decisions. Building a trusted drone ecosystem, the FCC said the actions build on broader efforts launched over the past several months to strengthen domestic drone manufacturing while addressing national security concerns associated with foreign produced systems. According to the agency, more than $4 billion has flowed into U.S. based drone and related manufacturing since the covered list actions began last December. The FCC also cited the expansion of domestic manufacturing facilities and the creation of new jobs as evidence that the policy is encouraging investment in American production. The agency has simultaneously pursued its broader drone dominance initiative, which includes efforts to streamline regulations, modernize spectrum policy, and support expanded commercial drone operations. Part of a broader regulatory push. Tuesday's announcement follows several other recent FCC actions related to drones, as the FCC points out in their fact sheet. Earlier in the day, the Commission began revocation proceedings against Odyssey Robot, alleging the company falsely claimed its drone was produced in the United States when obtaining FCC equipment authorization. Last week, the FCC also sought comment on whether to prohibit the import, marketing, or sale of certain covered equipment, including foreign produced drones made by several specific companies. Earlier this month, the Commission released guidance intended to help state, local, tribal, and territorial agencies implement authorities provided under the Safer Skies Act for counter drone operations. If adopted after the public comment process, the latest proposal would represent another significant step in the federal government's ongoing effort to transition the U.S. drone market toward trusted domestic and allied supply chains while further limiting the commercial availability of higher risk foreign produced systems. Read more. FCC adds foreign made drones and components to covered list. What it means for operators and manufacturers. FCC targets 8 drone companies with proposed fines over unanswered national security inquiries. FCC drone exemption list offers clues to trusted supplier requirements.